Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got a video by Austin Sweat titled The All-Time Greatest Player from Every NBA Team. So we all got different opinions when it comes to this type of thing. So I'm going to see if my opinion matches up with his. Because I'm going to say, man, the greatest Piston ever goes by the name of Luke. No, actually Grant Hill. Actually Isaiah Thomas, but Grant Hill potentially could have been the greatest of all time on the Pistons. But regardless, man, also before we get going on this, I want to let you guys know that I started a new channel called Crispy Flakes Plays, and I just started an NBA 2K21 My GM series with the Detroit Pistons. So if you're curious how I would actually run the Detroit Pistons, guys, go check out Crispy Flakes Plays. Link to that in the description below. But yeah, let's go and get going on this one, man.
In the past, we've looked at the best current NBA players from every NBA team.
Ain't no longer Blake, that's for damn sure.
We're looking at the best all-time player from every
Jeremy
team.
Grant.
Not ranking them, though, because for all-time players, that can get way too complicated. But
Sure.
for this one, there's two rules. We can use the same player more than once, and when deciding who's the best from each team, we're basing it only on how good they played while playing for that team.
Okay.
So we wouldn't say
That's
Jordan
fair.
was the best Wizards player of all time. He'd only make it on the Bulls, and since I just gave that one away, I guess that's where we'll start.
There we
Jordan's
go.
obviously Chicago's best all-time player, and there's a huge gap between him and their second best in Scottie Pippen.
Okay, but tell me this, guys. If Derrick Rose would have never got injured, how close do you think D Rose could have gotten to MJ? Do you feel like he would have been like in the realm or not even close? Is MJ just that elite over everybody else? How would he have been better than Scottie Pippen? You guys let me know, man.
And speaking of the Boston Celtics, all-time best player isn't as obvious though. Some would say Bill Russell, others Larry Bird. Russell brought Boston way more success, but Bird is usually ranked higher all-time.
Right.
So this one really just depends on who you
I would say Larry
Someone
Legend.
spot
No
who may
disrespect to Bill
eventually
Russell.
get taken though is Dirk Nowitzki for the Mavs, because he's easily the Mavericks' best all-time player by a huge margin. League MVP,
Luke is
MVP,
on the way.
Finals MVP, multiple-time All-Star, changed the game for big men, and had one of the greatest playoff runs ever. It's going to be an extremely difficult task.
Yo, Memento
to
Kerr
take
did
this
it first.
spot, but if anyone's going to do it one day, it's going to be Luka. And if he wants to take it, he'll have to at least win an MVP and a championship. And sure, it's only a second season, but he's still very far off of that. For the Milwaukee Bucks, but
Yes, he's off the championship, but I mean, even with that, it's like the Mavericks, I think they are a few just like pieces of the way where they could really build a contender. I just don't think Kristaps Porzingis is the best fit alongside Luka. But as far as MVP, I don't think he's too far off from that, especially, you know, like it seems like this year and last year, he's always been like in the running for it, at least just like a guy that was mentioned. And like, despite his age, can you imagine if this guy's like 27 or whatever? He could win like damn 3 in a row, I think.
best player. You might have had Giannis in mind right off
Nope.
the bat, but
Kareem.
actually he's nowhere near close because Kareem takes this
Yep.
one still by a long shot. Sure,
Easy.
Giannis is a two-time MVP,
Followed by
and
Michael
Defensive
Redd.
Player of the Year, but while with the Bucks, Kareem won
Just
a
got injured.
championship, Finals MVP, 3 MVP awards, was a multiple-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, led the league in blocks, averaged 35 and 16 in his best season, averaged 3.5 blocks a game in the 2 seasons he played for the Bucks after blocks started getting recorded, and made the All-First and All-Defensive
Made an
first
appearance
team
on Full
multiple
House.
times. So yeah, Giannis is good, but not that good. Another player that might come to mind as the Houston Rockets' best player of all time is James
Oh,
Harden.
Hakeem.
But for as good as he was there, he definitely doesn't beat out Hakeem Olajuwon.
I think this one is closer than we want it than we think, though. I do think Hakeem is the best Rocket, but you know, like if you want to measure like beyond just like stats, then yes, Hakeem definitely. But you want to talk about purely stats? Like James Harden did some damn historical stuff. It just never led to anything. I think it was a little bit too much hero ball, but yeah, I would personally say Hakeem. So I do agree with that.
Who was one of the best two-way players ever and won 2 championships for Houston.
Right.
For the Charlotte
No
Hornets,
doubt.
their future's bright, and with the way things are going, LaMelo Ball honestly has a
Del
chance
Curry.
to take the spot if he keeps playing as well as he has. He has the potential. He's
Larry
a 6'8"
Johnson.
guard,
No, Alonzo
and
Mourning.
he's had multiple
Alonzo
huge
Mourning.
games already as a rookie. But he has to keep it up if he wants to beat out Kemba Walker. Shouldn't be
Okay.
too hard though, considering Kemba only led Charlotte to the playoffs twice. But nobody is going to take the Cavs in the Heat spot for their best player of all time because chances are that spot will always belong to LeBron James.
I'm just going to say this. I think there needs to be an asterisk in this video, and I think Dwayne Wade still needs to be listed as the greatest Miami Heat player of all time. I completely understand, like, efficient-wise, the most efficient season LeBron ever had was on the Miami Heat. But without D-Wade, there was never going to be no LeBron. And I think it also comes down to when it comes to like the Lakers, like when I think of the Lakers, I think of like Kobe and Magic. But if LeBron is playing, if people are saying LeBron can win MVP this season, then by default, wouldn't he also have to be on the Lakers as their best player of all time? I think LeBron. I think LeBron. You know, it's. That's why when I think of greatest player of all time, I do think longevity has to play in the play. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel weird not having Dwayne Wade as the Heat. But I also get it too. But also, I think Dwayne Wade needs to be lit. I don't know, man.
And same goes for the Spurs. To take Tim Duncan's spot as their best ever,
yep,
it won't happen for at least 10 to 20 years.
Never.
He's the best power forward of all time. We'd have to see a player get drafted or traded
Rasheed Wallace says
San
hello.
Antonio, play there their entire career, and top Duncan's 5 championships, league MVP, and dominance throughout a 20-year
No, I love
career.
Tim Duncan.
So yeah, pretty unlikely. For the Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller is
yep,
without a doubt their
easy
best player. He doesn't have a ton of great stats to show for it, no MVPs, no championships, and only 5 All-Star appearances. But he just knew how to win games, leading Indiana to 6 conference finals and 1
honestly, kind of like that era's almost like James Harden, right? Just like superstar shooting guard, just could never really get it done. I mean, just kind of happens.
NBA Finals, and that's what really made him great. Then for the Brooklyn Nets, with Kyrie, Harden, and Durant all playing there right now, it's weird to have to say Jason Kidd's the Nets all-time
Julius
best
Erving
player, even though all 3 of these guys are overall more skilled than he was. But they haven't played there long enough to surpass him. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discredit Jason Kidd, because remember, he
didn't Dr. J play for Brooklyn
or
for
without him,
New Jersey,
showing up and leading them to 2 straight NBA Finals. And that's the kind of player Jason always was. With the Golden State Warriors, surprisingly, it was tough. And
ooh, it is tough. Because they got Wilt Chamberlain, too. Ooh, damn. Ooh. I'm still going to... I mean, this is definitely like... I obviously didn't watch Wilt Chamberlain play, so I'm completely disrespecting him probably by... I'm going to say Steph Curry, though.
Definitely giving the spot to Steph Curry. Wilt Chamberlain puts up a fight. He had his 50-point-per-game season with the Warriors.
Right.
Scoring champ, 6-time All-Star, 4-time
so it's tough.
MVP, and was by far his most dominant while in Golden State. But he only made it to 1 NBA Finals and had multiple first-round exits in the playoffs. Plus, all that stuff done, including helping elevate the Warriors to being the 2nd most valuable team in the NBA. I gotta give it to him. The Memphis Grizzlies really aren't anything exciting because it goes to Marc Gasol. They really haven't had many great players throughout their history, so look for Ja Morant to maybe take this spot down the line. The Sacramento Kings spot then easily goes to Oscar Robertson.
Yep, that one's easy.
They also haven't had a ton of great players.
Maybe
and
Pedro.
The ones they have had were no match for Oscar. When naming the Portland Trailblazers best player, though, it's tough because Clyde Drexler and Damian Lillard are like neck and neck.
Yeah, Clyde Drexler was amazing. Bro, you can imagine Brandon Roy would have stayed healthy, though. Damn, Brandon Roy would have took them both over.
I really want to.
I loved Brandon Roy, man. God, I wish he would have worked out.
And 1 NBA Finals appearance gives him the slight edge over Lillard, but I say by the end of this year or next, he's gonna take over this spot. For the Atlanta Hawks, at this point in time, Dominique Wilkins takes it without question for being a dominant small forward who averaged 30 points a game for multiple seasons. But for the fact that he never got close to making it out of the 2nd round, it does leave room for a guy like Trae Young to take the spot in the future. If
he got a lot more to prove, though.
He used to put up big numbers, making a big impact on the league and making big runs in the playoffs, he could one day take this one. Then Chris Paul takes the spot for the Pelicans' best. Anthony Davis was easily their overall most dominant, and he's a close second behind Chris, but CP3's assists, steals, offense, defense...
Yeah, I really like James Posey on that team.
...package that actually led his team to wins, unlike Davis, is what gives him this one. Paul always led his team to the playoffs, while Davis really didn't more often than not. And speaking of Chris Paul, I mean, call me crazy, but I have him as the Clippers' all-time best player.
Nothing wrong with that. Clippers don't really have a lot of great all-time players. I'm trying to think of who they have. They had that damn Bob McAdoo or whatever, McAdoo. I think he was on the Clippers. And I think Chris Kaman played there. Corey Maggette was on the team eventually at one time. Yeah, CP3 pretty damn easy. I love Blake Griffin stuff, but
strange. Most lists and things online have Blake as the best, but I don't see it. Sure, Griffin started the trend. He set the Clippers on the right path. He got people watching.
Yeah, I'm cool with CP3 being listed.
He was, and he was the most exciting part of Lob City. Plus, he played there a little longer than CP, but like I just mentioned, CP3 made them win games. No matter what, Blake would have been pretty good, but not nearly as good without Chris Paul. I would say Kawhi Leonard and Paul George now have a chance of taking this spot from him too, but I don't know that I can see either of them playing there long enough to do so.
If Kawhi wins a championship, he can.
the Oklahoma City Thunder's best player.
KD.
And maybe I'm wrong for this one, but I say this one easily goes to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's easy.
Westbrook though, and sure he did average triple doubles and had a great.
It's Kevin Durant. I mean, I understand the longevity of Russell Westbrook, but I mean, it's Kevin Durant. It's just, yeah.
MVP year after KD left. Plus, he played there longer than Durant. But I just see it as Kevin was the best player on that team every single year that he played with them, and had better accomplishments while playing.
Damn, maybe KD over Curry on the Warriors
spot. I gotta give it to Kobe Bryant. Sure, most everyone has Magic Johnson ranked ahead of Bryant all time, but even Magic said Kobe's the best Laker ever. His tenure there, his 5 NBA championships, and dominance over.
See, and that's kind of like why I also equate Dwayne Wade to the Miami Heat. Like when I think of the Heat, I think of D Wade. When I think of the Lakers, I think of Kobe. LeBron's played for both, but I think LeBron, when you think of Cleveland, you think of LeBron. That's why it's like, if it's, you want to give it to Kobe over LeBron, I think D Wade should have got over LeBron on the Heat. I don't know, man. Just how I feel.
For a 20-year span, slightly beats out Magic's 13-year Laker career for me. For the Knicks, it's nothing too exciting. Walt Frazier beats out Patrick Ewing for bringing the team their only 2 NBA championships. With the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett clearly has been their best player ever, and is the only Wolves player who's ever come close to winning an MVP. Some may say Karl Anthony Towns has a chance to take this one day, and
didn't KG win an MVP one year? I could be wrong about that. I thought he won in 1 year, but maybe not. This would have been like, what, like early 2000s? That KG was a problem.
He might if he has a game.
Well, like 2003 or something? Or 2004 he won it, didn't he?
The Utah Jazz spot for the best player goes to Karl Malone. But we don't want to talk about him since he's a creep. The Raptors' best player is Kyle Lowry. The best to ever play for them was Kawhi Leonard. He led them to their title, but for helping with their title and with his tenure there, a lot of people have Lowry as...
Same reason, man. I gotta say Dwayne Wade over LeBron, man. I know LeBron was there for a few seasons and stuff. They won championships, but yeah.
Best.
I'm cool with Kyle Lowry being listed. I love him.
Though. Bradley Beal, John
Gilbert
Wall,
Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas all come to mind.
Hibachi.
Still got to go to Wes Unseld. He won MVP in his rookie season and took them from being 36 and 46.
He'd have averaged damn 12 and 9 in today's NBA.
7 and 25 afterwards as a rookie.
12 and 9 player in today's NBA.
Gilbert
will put up 80.
His entire career. He had this kind of impact for every year he played. For the Orlando Magic, some people may say the best player to ever play for them was Shaq. Others say Dwight Howard. I think it's really split 50-50 and could go either way. The two both accomplished similar things while with Orlando.
Penny Hardaway.
I'll take Dwight just because he played for the Magic twice as long as Shaq did. Isaiah Thomas easily takes the spot for the Pistons with no real competition. In most people's minds, Alex English...
Bro, what about Grant Hill? Grant Hill's got a little competition. I would say Grant Hill's a little competition. A little bit. Just
also
a little.
Takes the Nuggets spot with no competition. At least yet, because hey, when it's all said and done, there's a good chance it'll go to Nikola Jokic.
I think Jokic is the best Nugget to ever play.
And he's a guy I can see really playing with them his entire career. Then we have the Phoenix Suns.
No Melo, though.
Steve Nash. Nobody had the impact that he had on the Suns after joining them. Sure, Charles Barkley led Phoenix to their first NBA Finals his first year with them, but they were already a good team before he got there. Before Steve Nash, the Suns were bad, and he instantly made them title contenders and won 2 MVPs. The impact he had on his teammates was unmatched, and maybe one day Devin Booker will match his level of success, but he's not going to do it anytime soon.
Yeah, he ain't gonna pass Nash.
Philadelphia 76ers,
AI.
and we're going to take out on a controversial one. I mean, you want to say Allen Iverson. He's
Dr.
the
J.
fan favorite. He changed a lot about the NBA and had that crazy finals run with Philly. Mostly every single list you see, though, says Julius Erving is the best player Philly's ever had.
Sure.
He led the All-Star team every year he was there, won an MVP, and won a championship. Something Iverson could.
Might say Charles Barkley.
Debatable. But then you look at Wilt Chamberlain's run in Philadelphia, and I know he played in the 60s, a lot less competition and all that, but how much do we penalize him for that? Because in only 4 years in Philly, he won a championship, won 3 straight MVPs, was a 2-time scoring champ, 3-time rebounding leader, and even led the league in assists. So what more could he possibly have done in that time? But I'll leave this one open for you guys to decide. Comment down below and let me know.
I would say overall it was a pretty good list. I don't really see anything too controversial about it. Guys, what do y'all think? Man, let me know in the comment section below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Check out Also Sweat to link to his channel description below. And peace out, my friends.